welcome to our channel. We are the Barretts, a family of 4. We post lifestyle content every Monday and Friday for you and your family to enjoy. Today's video I'm really excited about because it's something that I am very passionate about, and this is the subject of Montessori. If you've never heard of Montessori, I'm sure Google can answer all of your questions. I'll give you a little bit of insight about it and how it kind of plays into our life, but this is something that me and my husband have chosen for what's best for our family. Everyone's family is different and everyone will have their acquiring needs that they'll need to kind of like communicate about, and so for us, we've always been super passionate and very, very interested in incorporating Montessori for our children and in our family. So with that being said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will definitely try to get back to you, or I'll at least give you some links that might be able to help answer those questions. And without further ado, let's dive in. The basics of Montessori that I think are really important is fostering independency in our children. And what I mean by that is allowing them to practice and learn different kind of just everyday life concepts, and then to incorporate them in everything. So I'm going to be taking you along with me and kind of explaining what that means for us. It's not going to look the same for every child or every family. Everything is going to be different. So when you are thinking about this, or if you're aspiring to include it in your own lifestyle, I think it's really important, one, to not compare, because every family and every child is so very different. What one child be able to do, it might not look the same as another, or what one family wants to incorporate, it might not look like the same as the other. But we can get creative in this space, and that's what I love about Montessori, is that it's allowing our children to foster independence, to grow to be a confident and independent child. And if you do your research, Maria Montessori goes into a lot of those concepts.
A lot of our favorite Montessori concepts are including our children in cooking, so that means lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Right now, me and Carson are making his lunch, and he decided that he would really like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I lay everything out for him, that way he has easy access to be able to make his own lunch. And then it gives him the freedom to just practice learning, and I'm here always making sure that everything is safe and that he's acquiring the skills that he needs in order to achieve what he's looking for. So it can be as simple as this. This is basic Montessori concepts of being able to prepare your own lunch, and even sometimes preparing it for others. What do you think?
Great.
Now what we should do is test it out.
Hold it. Smoke it.
Good. Try another piece. I think the hardest part when it comes to parents is stepping back and just letting them learn. It can be so much easier to get things done quicker, more efficiently, and make sure that everything is done properly, but this is what we are learning, and this is a process. And so when it doesn't come out perfect and he wants to cut his food with his hands, it's just another way to do things, and it gives me as a parent some new insight to creativity and being open to how Carson sees the world. And so today's lunch looks a little bit like this. And are you enjoying your lunch? And you made your own lunch. When it comes to fostering independence and confidence, picking out your clothes is an easy and simple way to do that. So in Carson's room, we do give him access and full access to being able to choose some of his outfits for the day. It's part of our morning routine, our rhythm, everyday cycle. We'll have to teach him that, you know, in the morning after we have slept all night, we're gonna get dressed and get ready for the day. So whether that's brushing our hair and brushing our teeth, getting dressed, we always give him 2 to 3 options for clothing to pick out from. That way he has an option and he can foster his confidence through his style, which is really fun. I know this is again where you need to sit back as a mom or a dad and say, you know, those pants don't really go with that shirt, but I'll give you the option to just work out what you would like to do, and that gives them the confidence and it builds their confidence, and over time they'll be able to just be in this spot where they're happy about the decisions that they're able to make themselves instead of us just doing everything for them. And again, that's what fosters the independence in this concept, because by giving him, hey, do you want to wear the green shirt or the blue shirt, it's giving him the option to choose without me having to do everything for him, and then he'll grow up into just the rhythms of what our family has always done, and that's really, really cool. And so in his room we have this shelf over here, where he can access his clothes, and this is his closet setup. It's not anything fancy, but for now this is what works. We hope to invest in a large shelf that will be able to kind of have like hooks and hangers that he can be able to pick out more clothing from, but for now, for his age being almost 3, these 2 bins are excellent. We got these bins, I believe, at Walmart, and what we keep in them is just simple options for clothes. So whether it's summer, winter, fall, everything is always the same. We'll put in 2 to 3 pairs of pants in this side, and then over here a couple of different shirt options that he can choose from. Up here he has access to his socks and some of his underwear usually, and that way in the morning he knows what to expect, he knows where to come when he wants to get clothes. And then throughout the week, usually at the start of the week, me or Brandon will pick out 2 or 3 shirts, we'll put it in here, trade everything out, and then we'll just give him the option to choose from these 2 bins. Something else I love is this little toy space we have. This is literally just a shoe rack that I've had in our closet that we don't use anymore, and so I've created this little outlet for him to have a space to play. I keep a lot of open-ended toys in here since this is a rest area. It's most of the time where he sleeps and engages his small activities by himself. The method of Montessori is very simple, so keeping everything simple is the way to go. I think there's too many options, children can get really overwhelmed quickly. So by giving them fewer options, it boosts creativity, it boosts imagination, it helps them be able to kind of foster this creative outlet where they're like, hey, I only have this many things, what can I do with it? And it builds off of that area, if that makes sense. And that's why I love Montessori and some of the concepts behind it, because it's just really, really character building and creative. This is a prime example for Montessori when it comes to babies. We have this really, really sweet little tower for Miles Plander. It's not his favorite because he's still so young, but I do get him a little bit of time to see and check out things. Since he is grabbing at my hair, I figured, hey, maybe we should grab at some of these little wooden toys. We give him this little space to play, and we also have these little black and white images I printed out. See what I'm saying? Like, Montessori is super simple. You can literally just print out things for children starting young, and even older children too, that they can access and learn and create and build and imagine from. But for his age being so young, Miles will be 3 months this weekend, having like contrasted images is really, really great. And so when we do tummy time, I'll sometimes just put these on the wall, and then he can look at them. I'll do it again at his level. Everything at his level, at children's level, is so important in our home, because can you imagine with me for a second if we're just walking around and everything's always this high? I mean, you and I are probably this height, but these little guys are not. So it's important to put things at their level where they can access and feel like they're at home too. That is another favorite of mine about Montessori, including our children and making them feel like it's their home too. I think that making spaces that can also adhere to your children at their level and at their height and at their where they can access things, it just not only does it create unity, but it also helps them feel like they belong. And I think what better way to love on our children than to show them that they belong, and giving them that space in our home where they can have that privilege to feel like they also can enjoy their home is really, really special. Montessori techniques we'll always use in our home is cooking, cleaning, and getting dressed, teaching Carson all the basics of that. And whether it's making the bed or doing the laundry, Carson is such a big help when it comes to the laundry. It seems like such a boring task for us. Carson wants to tell you. Do you like doing the laundry? Yeah. Yes.
It seems like such a boring task to us, or something mundane that we're like really used to, but in reality it's so exciting for children and they really want to help. I think a lot of people miss, mostly parents, we can miss this fact that the world is such a big place and our kids want to learn that. They want to know it instead of just running through our daily chores like dishwashing and cooking and cleaning and laundry and practical life. We always try to want to include our children. Do you like cleaning the dishes? You love cleaning the dishes. Carson is a huge fan of cleaning the dishes. Whether I have to make up for it and clean them again, that is okay. The concept is there and we always make sure that we leave space in our day to include him in those topics. Another basic we'll always utilize is we love leaving him a whole space for his utensils and silverware, things that he can access at all time. The kitchen is really accessible for him with his learning tower. And again, please subscribe. You guys can check out our next video on Montessori, sharing our favorite products and what we have invested in for this kind of concept of including Montessori in our home. So he's always got access to healthy food and snacks that he can reach. We used to use an IKEA kitchen, but now that he's older, we've given him the opportunity to just have a section in our kitchen where he can always access his plates and bowls, and that way whenever he needs a snack and it's time for a snack, then he can go ahead and do that. And so Montessori is such a beautiful thing. I really love diving more into this as I continue to grow and follow Carson's development, but it can be so creative and it will, not that you have to follow all these concepts, we follow them very loosely. The Montessori idea of including practical life in every day, it can really change the outlook of just the growth and development of any child and the connection you guys share as when it comes to the bond that you're able to have, because instead of throwing some food on a plate for your child and handing it to them, you're including them in the steps and they kind of know what to expect, right? That is a look into our Montessori approach of raising our children. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I look forward to getting back to you. Practical life looks like different for everyone, as I mentioned at the start of this video, but for us regarding Montessori, it's including Carson in everything, whether that's daily chores, activities we're doing, keeping things simple, keeping things relevant for his lifestyle and our own, and then incorporating together in unity, deciding how to approach different sorts of topics and different sorts of activities that we might be doing, and just including him in the lifestyle of our home instead of everything is just on the parents, if that makes sense. A lot to Montessori, and I will leave a little description where I'll give you some tips on what you can do to find that information, and maybe even if you'd like, you can follow us on Pinterest and you can see a Montessori inspired kind of vision board on just getting some background. I think the best thing I would say is educate yourself if you are interested in this topic, and whether that's following people on Instagram or reading books. My favorite book is the Montessori Toddler, so if that is in your library somewhere, go ahead and rent it, or you can purchase it right on Amazon.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in our next video. Thank you so much for being here. You'll say thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.